Hi folks, Lee Scandinaro here with MeadvilleCalendar.com. This week is sweet. We've got a Green New Deal Town Hall today, which is Monday, and then on Friday it's the Dark Side of Oz at the Meadville Council of the Arts, followed by Second Saturday during the day and Second Saturday Night Live. Of course, check out Meadville Community Theater's The Fantastics. Now on with the show!
Hi, we're here in the Vukovich Center for Communication Arts at Allegheny College with Lee and Katie Beck, who is the director and advisor of Denied Admission. She's over there.
Let's check her out.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey there. That's Katie, I'm not.
One of three of us is going to have to change.
Let's get closer.
I thought this was the meeting.
Good morning, Katie.
Oh, Katie, can you tell us why you're here today?
Yes, I am directing and devising a production called Denied Admission with Allegheny students here in the beautiful Vukovich Center for Communication Arts.
Beautiful. Hello.
Hi.
And Denied Admission, what is this a reference to? Please tell us.
Sure, so Denied
We're here
Admission.
at a college, right?
Yeah. So Denied Admission is a new play based on credible fear interviews of asylum seekers who have crossed the southern U.S. border. So the whole play is based on these three cases of people who came into the country with the hope of finding a better life.
Gotcha.
It's a true story.
It is, they're all true. So like I said, there's three cases. One is a woman from Honduras, one is a man from Guatemala, and one is a man from Somalia. So it's kind of fun because at the end of the show, audience members will get to vote as to whether they believe if each case would get a positive credible fear finding.
And what are these credible fear interviews?
I'm so glad you asked.
Thank you.
Credible fear is a concept in the United States where it's sort of a person is trying to prove if they are truly afraid to go back to their home country. So the first step in the asylum process is to go through a credible fear interview to describe sort of the trauma that they might have gone through, and then from there, if they've proven that they are defined as a refugee, which is a person who's had past persecution due to race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or particular social group, then they have a positive credible fear finding, and they are able to continue the asylum process for many years, usually.
So they're interviewed and they basically have to prove that they're afraid enough.
Yes, exactly.
Besides, if they're afraid of it.
That's exactly the question. Sort of
Audience.
these, yeah, right? Yeah, the audience in this case decides for it, but usually it's an asylum officer that interviews them, and then going off the tenets of immigration law, which happens to change like almost every week, they decide if they get that positive credible fear finding. If they don't get it, they can have a review hearing, and then an immigration judge decides. And a lot of times the immigration judge sort of decides the destiny of the person, which can be problematic, but it also can be good depending on the person.
Katie, I've never heard of this play before. Why is that? Before you bring it.
Yeah, sure. That's because Denied Admission originally happened in Akron, Ohio this summer, which is where I'm from.
Shout out.
So when I started producing it this summer, the managing director of the play shop reached out to me and said, we'd love to have this here as the first show of the year, and since you're a past student, we'd love to have you come back and work here for a couple of weeks and bring it to Meadville. Because it is a very local issue, actually. So there are a lot of people sort of think this is a southern border thing, but it's actually there are detention centers within a short driving distance of even Meadville. There's one in Youngstown, and that's where a couple of the cases are based in. So
And
it is
Pennsylvania has a high amount of deportations as well.
Yeah.
And this is an original piece, right?
Yes.
It's an original show to Gumdip.
Yes, this is an original production by Gummed Up Theater, originally devised by 6 actors in Akron, as I mentioned, but some of the actors had some personal experience with, working with undocumented immigrants and asylum seekers.
Very cool. Katie, you've got a bit of a history doing original pieces here in
Oh my
Meadville.
gosh, it's true.
Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So I graduated in 2014, which was 5 years ago. And while I was here as a student, I produced lots of theater. I was part of the play shop some, but then I worked for student experimental theater in Art Theater and did a few different productions. One was called Rolling in the Deep, based on stories of Allegheny students. Another was called Social Disease, which was based on racism and sexism, reversing,
As
the
all
isms.
plays are.
Yeah, as all plays are. And then also in my senior year, I did a show called Our Own Sounds, which was based on the history of the Underground Railroad and the Civil Rights Movement in Meadville in relation to the Bethel AME Church.
And then you came back a year later, right? To do
And
a
then I came back a year later. That's right. Oh my god. Yeah, and then in 2016 we produced A Town for Us, which was based on tens of hours of interviews and story circles from Meadville citizens. And it was a play that demonstrated the double narrative of industry versus agriculture and how that affects our identity in post-industrial cities, but very Meadville based. And that was directed by Lee Scandinaro himself, who also played a role in it.
Yeah. And that one took place in the downtown mall, if folks remember seeing that show. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Denied Admission plays this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And it starts at 7:30?
It starts at 8 on Friday and Saturday, 2:30 on Sunday. Every show will have a talk back after and have special panelists from folks who either work with refugees or asylum seekers, and some, campus celebrities.
Mm. My mom always told me, don't talk back.
So it never stays for me.
And we'll see you on the town, Meadville. Thank you.